Good morning to all and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, illegal firecracker unit. 7 killed in fire in Rajasthan, 2 injured. There is one word you have to focus on. It talks about a tragic incident where people got killed, and this happens once or twice a year. Accidents in firecracker units, and which place is called the capital of firecracker manufacturing, Shivakasi. Many companies are there, usually it happens over there, but this one seems to have happened in Rajasthan. And when you see the word fire, you have to think of words like, very good, inferno, blaze, and also break out. What is the phrasal verb? Break out. Break out means to start suddenly. Yes, very good. Shrikant, Vishnu, inferno, fire, blaze, all these words, and break out. Otherwise, nothing to learn. Coming to the next one, fresh start. 17 tourism destinations reopened in Jammu and Kashmir. There are two types of learners. One, casual learners. They have a look at the snippet. Fresh start. 17 tourism destinations reopened in Jammu and Kashmir. When we talk about destinations, people want to visit a particular place that is known as a destination. Tourist destination, tourism destinations, important combination you have to remember. But a smart learner who is aspiring to become SBI PO or IBPS PO, where you have descriptive English, and otherwise also any other exam for that matter, will try to acquire basic knowledge related to this industry. Tourism industry, you should have the basic knowledge, and a smart learner will try to read and make notes about tourism industry, make a note of related words, combinations. That is being smart from exam point of view. Contextual awareness matters a lot, do remember. Coming to the next one, BNP stand, Hasina's presence in India won't deter ties. You all know Hasina, Sheikh Hasina, she is in India and she is considered a fugitive in Bangladesh, but for us, a guest. And regarding that, some statement, the stand taken by BNP, the incumbent government, Hasina's presence in India won't deter ties. Deter means to discourage. And we use this word when it comes to nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons act as a deterrent. Means what? To stop someone from doing something. Why all these words? Based on what? Perhaps tourism, religion, okay? Next one, MK Stalin writes, India's federalism is in need of a structural reset. You all know India is quasi-federal. Some powers go with the center, some go with the states. And against that backdrop, statement given by the CM of Tamil Nadu state says that we have to relook into the power shared by the center and the states. Federalism is in need of a structural reset. Here in place of structural, you can also use the word systemic. Systemic means what? Touching the entire system. Recalibration of union-state relations. As I said, it's all about center-state relations. Recalibration. Calibration means to consider, to calculate, to re-look at something. Important news item, you got to read that one. Coming to sports, making the cut. Nisanka sends Lanka into the Super 8 from a particular group. Red letter day means important day. Sri Lanka has entered Super 8, and the reason, the batter behind, Nisanka sends Lanka into the Super 8, making the cut, going above others. Coming to the main headline, you have to read this one because it goes with environment, and it is something like a decision one has to take between environment and development. NGT gives, what do the letters NGT stand for? National Green Tribunal. Gives clearance to Great Nicobar project. Many environmentalists have been objecting. And against that backdrop, They have given the clearance. The 92,000 crore mega project is of strategic defense and national importance, says Centre. Tribunal disposes batch of applications over environmental clearance for the infra project. Adequate safeguards provided in EC norms. No good ground to interfere, finds bench. They don't find anything objectionable, so they have given the green signal, the clearance. Green signal. The National Green Tribunal clears the same news. You have to go through this, an important editorial and important article. Tomorrow we may get that as an editorial, mark my words. Coming to the other snippets, SC sets date to hear ruling in Sabarimala case. You all know Sabarimala case, case of theft, gold ornaments, ruling in Sabarimala case, to hear ruling in Sabarimala case. Modi-Macron bilateral talks in Mumbai today. Bilateral between two countries. Centre silent on case relating to Khalisani activist. Centre remains silent. Centre is silent regarding a particular case. You have to read to understand. Move High Court in case against Assam CM Himanta, says Supreme Court. This again goes with polity. Coming to the pick. What does it say? Battle readiness. You can see all the tankers. Field exercise. K9 Vajra tanks showcase the artillery capabilities during the Vajra Ghat exercise conducted by the Southern Command's White Tiger Division in the Pokhran field firing range on Monday. Defense related. Read the article. You get an idea about the context. Coming to the next one. India's flagship AI summit opens to massive crowds. Matter of pride, says Modi. There's one important word here, flagship. We have many summits. The most important summit, we say flagship. The word flagship goes with products and also companies. Imagine a particular company manufactures a range of products and one particular product brings the lion's share. Then they say this is our flagship product. Or a multinational company, a conglomerate, a business conglomerate, has many companies. One particular company brings the lion's share of profits, then they say this is our flagship company. An important word, do remember. And read this article, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, AI is going to be part of our lives. No one can deny that fact. Constitution bench to hear pleas against DPDP Act. Plea, appeal, request, urge. But here it goes with a legal context. That's all from today's front page of the Hindu paper. Let us go to editorial analysis. What is this rock solid performance? Coming to the editorial, today we have about 5 or 6 words. Because the number is limited, I have brought for each word the word profile. What does it mean? Part of speech, meaning, word forms, word combinations, synonyms, antonyms, all these. But not too many words. The very first one, render. Render has 2 different meanings. Part of speech, verb, mainly, noun, rare, legal. Meaning to cause something to become. Excuse me. What is the second one? To provide something. Render the services means provide the services. Render something to become something, cause to become. To provide or deliver a service. Another meaning, to present formally. It goes with verdict and report. Word forms, word combinations, synonyms, antonyms. Rendered, it's a regular verb. Rendering, renderer, rendering. And combinations, render assistance, render a verdict, render ineffective, render services, render obsolete. Synonyms, make, cause, provide, deliver, present. Antonyms, prevent, withhold, block, stop. Are you guys aware of that word, render? Part of speech, next one, chronic. Part of speech, adjective, persisting for a long time, constant or habitual, deep-rooted and recurring. Chronic disease, usually it goes with diseases, combinations and all that. Chronically, adverb, chronicity, noun. Chronic illness, shortage, problem, delayed, chronically delayed. But here you have to think of the root word chrono. Chrono deals with what? Time. Based on that, chronology, chronometer, chronicles. These two are synonyms. Archives. Chronic is something exists for a long time, but chrono means related to time. Chronology, chronometer, and chronicles, all important words. Synonyms: persistent, enduring, long-standing, recurring. Antonyms: temporary, short-term, occasional. Yes, who is this YOLO? Chronology. Devolve, we have got recently. Last week we got part of speech verb to transfer power or responsibility to a lower authority to pass on duties or rights. I usually give the word delegate, delegation. Devolve, regular verb, devolving, devolution. Usually used as a noun, devolutionary. What are the combinations? Devolve power, authority, responsibility, fiscal devolution between center and the states. Synonyms: transfer, delegate, assign, hand over. Antonyms: centralize, retain, withhold, consolidate. Adhere. Adhere also we have got many a time. Adhere takes a preposition to. Adhere to means what? Stick to. Part of speech verb to stick firmly to something, to follow rules, standards, or principles strictly. Adhere is a regular verb. Adhered, adhering, adherence, important, and adherent. Adhere to rules strictly. Strict adherence, adhere to principles. Adhere to law. Comply takes a preposition with, follow, observe, abide by, very important. Exactly, kavya, very good. Violate, disobey, ignore, defy. Defy also means challenge. Mismatch, a new word we have got for the first time. Part of speech noun, a confused mixture of different things, a disorganized or incoherent combination. Coherence means unity. Incoherent means not in harmony. Only noun form, no other forms of ideas, of policies, cultural mishmash. And these are important words. Hodgepodge, never heard of this. Jumble, shuffle, medley, important word. Hodgepodge, important. They have given a few times. And remember, when we work on synonyms, antonyms, some words are familiar, some words are not familiar. Whatever is not familiar, you have to spend some time after the session. Make your own examples. Antonyms: order, system, coherence, harmony. Coherence is an important word. Today you all know some exams, bank exams, mains level, we have descriptive English. And that time, usually when you prepare for descriptive English, do remember they test your writing skill. When it comes to writing skill, we use the word coherence. Means what? Smooth and logical flow of sentences. Coherence, an important word. Let us go to the editorial. What is this about? We have got this for the first time. And it's all about cities, urban areas, and the funds they have to generate. Cities of debt. D-E-B-T. B is silent. So how do you pronounce that? Debt. Cities of debt. On the Urban Challenge Fund. But what is the main idea? ULBs need more administrative capacity before they can tap the market. You want to tap the market. Tap here means to exploit, to use. To tap the market, the writer opines the ULBs need more administrative capacity. You cannot understand. Once you read the entire editorial, you understand. But how does it start? The government's updated urban challenge funds. Updated. Based on that, they have written this editorial. Updated urban challenge fund has rendered the attention of urban local bodies an even more precious resource. Now we consider ULBs more precious resources. To make the attention of urban local bodies an even more precious resource as a struggle to complete unfinished work under other schemes. Right now, what is the position? They are struggling. Why are they struggling? They are struggling to complete unfinished work under other schemes. What are the other schemes? Including Amrut, Swachh Bharat Mission, Urban 2.0, Smart Cities, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which also suffer from chronic underutilization. There are two problems, all these schemes. One, they are not able to finish. The second problem, underutilization of these. The government has pitched the fund as a move towards market-linked, reform-driven and outcome-oriented urban infrastructure. You may ask sometimes, so what is the use of the editorial? When you read the editorials, you come across standard language, English, and you come across important phrases, expressions, combinations. And when it comes to descriptive English, do remember, in the past it was manual correction, now computer based. Based on the topic, they feed the computer with power words. What are power words? Important words that go with a particular context. And when you use words like, expressions like market linked, reform driven, outcome oriented, customer centric, market centric, then the computer picks those expressions and you get maximum marks. You have to focus on these combinations. Urban infrastructure with the center covering 25% of project cost if cities raise at least 50% through bonds, loans and PPPs. It's about the fund and 25% from the center, at least 50% from the public states, cities you can say. How? Through bonds, loans and PPPs. This is an attempt to incorporate. Incorporate here means include. This is an attempt to incorporate fiscal discipline in a system that has never properly devolved fiscal powers to ULBs. There is a system, but it has never devolved powers to ULBs. Now they are trying to correct the system. Attempt to incorporate fiscal discipline. Many Indian cities cannot credibly borrow without first fixing the political economy of local taxes and transfers, which are shaped by state level issues and under investment in municipal capacity. The editorial opines these urban cities, the cities, they should fix certain things first, then they should go for the next level. What are they supposed to fix? Many Indian cities cannot credibly borrow. If you want to borrow money, you need credibility. Without credentials, without credibility, no one is going to give you the loan, and you cannot borrow from someone. Cannot credibly borrow without first fixing something. Without fixing what? But when you see the word fix, you have to think of words like mend, repair, fix. They all mean the same based on the context we use. Without first fixing the political economy of local taxes and transfers, which are shaped by state level issues and underinvestment in municipal capacity. Requiring cities to earn their growth risks, sidelining weaker ones, and shifting the focus from services such as formalizing settlements to developing monetizable assets. You demand the cities to earn on their own. What is the negative impact? The risk is risk sidelining weaker ones. And the second problem, shifting the focus from services such as formalizing settlements to developing monetizable assets. The focus may shift to monetary dimension, not towards services. The 5,000 crore guarantee may ease borrowing for smaller cities, but proper accounting and administrative capacity are essential. The main idea is being reiterated. One can borrow money, but two things are required, prerequisites. One is proper accounting, and the other one, administrative ability or capacity. These two are indispensable or a must. When a parliamentary standing committee asked about the fund's eligibility criteria and application process, here there is one important word. Answer the question, is it singular or plural? Criterion singular, criteria plural. Eligibility criteria and application process. The Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry said that it was still under examination. A possible recipe for politically colored spending. Yes, Vishnu. Criterion singular, criteria plural. This sentence talks about clear explanation was not given. Based on that, the writer thinks some sort of recipe for politically colored spending. Political dimension may be there. Recipe has two meanings. One meaning, the process to prepare something goes with dishes. Second meaning, the formula for something. Recipe for success means the formula for success. Across sectors, the center has. Now the writer talks about what is happening based on different sectors. Education, infrastructure, land, all these. Across sectors, the center has since 2014 increasingly reduced the share of public support while asking public systems to fill the gap using private finance. On the one hand, the center has reduced the funds. On the other hand, recommended the public systems to raise through borrowing, raise funds through private finance. The CSIR was among the first casualties, and urban development could be the latest. This talks about urban development, could be the latest. The first casualty means the first organization got affected. CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. And imagine you ask a university to raise funds on its own. And one option the university may resort to, charging high fee. Then the negative impact of that, poor students won't be able to afford. Next sentence talks about that. In higher education, the move towards infrastructure loans turned public universities into debt-laden entities. An important expression you have to remember. Debt-laden entities. Entity could be anything. In this context, university, institution, full of debts that were expected to recover costs by increasing fee, as is silent, affecting poor students. How can they come out of that financial distress or the hardships, financial hardships? They have to collect money from students, means raise the fee. But if they raise the fee, it affects the poor students. Studies of the National Health Mission, now another sector, this goes with education. Studies of the National Health Mission's financial management have documented long delays to move funds to treasuries, to implementing agencies. Treasury, a place where money is kept, a place from where money is distributed. It seems some sort of delay. Funds to treasuries to implementing agencies. So in practice, hospitals have been asked to maintain services first and receive money later. You all know that. First they have to offer the service, then they can receive the money later. Latter, you have to. Practice, very important. Practice, TIC is a noun form, TISC is a verb form. And also you have to think of later, talks about the time factor, latter talks about the position. Audits under the Ujjwal Discom Assurance Yojana have exposed significant non-adherence and implementation gaps in the power sector, a different sector. Power sector, two problems. One, audits no adherence, and second, implementation gaps. Next one, private capital is not illegitimate and public systems should sometimes raise revenues. A writer says private capital is not illegitimate, means what? Not illegal. And public systems should advise, sometimes raise revenues. But what is the problem? The problem is that the center increasingly conditions public support on market access instead of ensuring minimum service guarantees first. Conditions public support on market access. It is not giving the minimum support instead of ensuring minimum service guarantees first. How does the editorial end? Thus, while the fund's instruments are legitimate, it will increase the risk of becoming insubordinate to bankability. If land records are a mishmash, ULBs routinely violate master plans, and renters and low-income households do not receive additional protections. If at all there is a mishmash, means what? Not matching, then it may result in some problem. What is that problem? If land records are a mishmash, ULBs routinely violate master plans, and negative impact of that, renters and low-income households do not receive additional protections. That's all about today's editorial. Not easy to understand. You have to read twice or thrice because different sectors have been touched and a bit difficult to comprehend. Try to answer questions based on comprehension skill. Question number 1, central concern expressed about the urban challenge fund. What is the central concern? Completely eliminates public funding, not correct. It prioritizes rural development, not at all correct. It links public funding to market-based borrowing without strengthening ULB capacity. C, very good. Kavya, first one to respond. The requirement that cities must earn their growth primarily implies cities must earn on their own. What does it imply? Encouraging competitive federalism? No. Conditioning urban development on financial market credibility? Not fully, partially. It talks about conditioning urban development on financial market credibility. B is the answer. Very good. The author suggests that weaker cities may be sidelined because they lack population density, not relevant. Political insignificance, not relevant. They may not be able to raise funds through bonds or PPPs. What is the answer for the third one? C, very good. Vishnu. First one to respond. Which of the following best describes the tone of the editorial? It is not enthusiastic endorsement, no optimism, not cautious optimism, critical and skeptical, doubting, criticizing and doubting. Based on that, what is the answer? C is the answer. Critical and skeptical. Skeptical means doubting something. The example of higher education institutions becoming debt-laden entities is used to argue that universities should be privatized? No. Show the consequences of linking public funding to loans? Hold this one. Efficiency of infrastructure? Not relevant. Fee regulation policies? No. So what is the answer? Show the consequences of linking public funding to loans. Four, answer is B, not C. Fifth one. Oh, I think this is the fifth one. Fine. Fifth one is what? B. Let us go to questions based on mini mocks, based on exam topic or exam topics. First one, error location. The repeal of the endangerment finding was a final, formal blow following a series of actions by the EPA in weakening fuel standards? Not easy, try to read carefully. Answer is no error. The repeal of the endangerment finding was a final formal blow following a series of actions by the EPA in weakening fuel standards. Nothing wrong with the sentence. Everything is perfect. Very good, Vishnu. Contextually, grammatically also perfect. Error location, question number 2. The EPA concluded that 6 greenhouse gases may reasonably be anticipated. Always try to put adverbs in brackets and read, then you get clarity. May be anticipate or may be anticipated. We may anticipate something may be anticipated by us. Here it is in passive voice. Any sentence in passive voice, the main verb should be in past participle form. Very good. B has Gopi. Looks like a new student. One more question based on error location. Manufacturers accelerated fuel efficiency improvements, invested in hybrid systems, lightweight materials, and eventually battery electric vehicles, which resulting in the popularity of electric vehicles globally. Where is the error? Which resulting is not correct. We have to say which resulted. Something resulted in something else, which resulted in the popularity of electric vehicles globally. Very good. Word form related. A question based on pillar. The EPA's action had a impact on the American automotive industry, setting in motion the first federal greenhouse gas standards. What sort of effect, you have to ask? Small scale, large scale. When it is large scale, we use the word seismic impact. Trivial means silly, negligible, reluctant, unwilling, abstract, cannot be touched or seen. So what is the answer? A seismic impact, large scale impact, devastating impact, negative impact, you can say. Mr. Trump, now we have a question on double pillar. Mr. Trump seems to believe that doing away with EPA regulations will America's gas guzzler era and manufacturing jobs. Contextual awareness, Donald Trump believes AP brings down the standards of fossil fuels, the restrictions I mean, then the automobile industry may get revived and may be able to provide more jobs to Americans. Revive, boost. Obviously, you don't have to go beyond this. You need two positive words. Curtail, restrict, hamper, block, obstruct, diminish, reduce, revoke, cancel, undermine, weaken, erase, restrict. So what is the answer? Only the first option has two positive words. Revive the industry, provide, boost manufacturing jobs. Word usage, choose a sentence where the word revoked is used correctly. Revoke, repeal, make null and void. Based on that, you have to, the company revoked new policies to encourage. To encourage, why will they revoke? A wrong combination. The court revoked the license, means cancel the license. Why? Due to violations. This seems correct. Hold this one. He revoked to attend, doesn't make any sense. The climate revoked, doesn't make any sense. Industry revoked its profits, not the right combination. What is the answer? The court revoked the license due to violations. Simple. Connector. We have a contrasting word here, though indirect. The stricter greenhouse gas emission norms also influenced a worldwide shift away from small cars shift away from small cars. Then what is the consequence of that? Here it is not contrasting, it is more about the consequence of moving away from small cars. Consequently, manufacturers improved SUV emission profiles. The industry moved away from small cars, and based on that, the consequence, we need adverbial form. Consequently, they started focusing on SUVs. Manufacturers improved SUV emission profiles. Answer is which one? Consequently. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.